PowerApps is a wonderful application, and when we use a SharePoint list as the data source, it becomes very, very powerful. So let's jump right into how to do this from scratch very easily. So stay tuned, we're going to jump right to it. So the first thing we want to do is create the app itself. We're just going to click on create, and we can just say create an app from blank. That's where we're at right here. This is a blank app. Now, one thing I have done is to add this data source. I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. You're just going to type in SharePoint. We're just going to click on this SharePoint here. It's going to come up here, and it's going to ask us to pick whatever source that I want. I picked on sample. If you notice it right here, sample. So I'm just going to hit cancel. We're already done there. So now I want to add a gallery. So adding a gallery is pretty easy. We're just going to add, and remember, a gallery is where we can see the data. So we just went to gallery and we clicked on blank gallery. And here we just want to link that data right to it, sample. You notice it there? And then we just want to insert something into it. So we can click here, insert from here, but I'm just going to go up here and do text input. Now I've got a field in here. Pretty easy so far, right? So I can adjust this field, do whatever I want with it. See it all right here? But I'm going to just leave it the way it is, and I want to set its default to pull information from the list that I just set up. So this item dot, and we want to put in the name of that list, which happens to be sample. Whoops, I'm sorry. We put in the name of the field in the list right here, name, which happens to be name. So we're just going to type in name. All right, and you'll see it come up. Now that is right there. That is the data that is right here. Okay, and then we can do the same thing. We just hit copy here, paste. I use Control-C and Control-V. We can just line it up right there. Now we're highlighted on that one, and I'm just going to put in date. Okay, so that's about as easy as it is to set this up. Now, a couple things just to note here. First of all, notice that these fields, these input fields, are inside of the gallery, which is right there. So if I want to edit this gallery, I need to be able to click on the gallery itself. Now, we only have one field. Let's just enter a second field in here real quick, and we'll show you kind of what we're talking about here. So we're just going to enter there. We're going to enter there. We're going to exit. We're going to go back over to PowerApps. Now notice none of the data shows up. That's because the data hasn't been refreshed. So let's go here and just hit refresh data. Now notice that the second field that we put in is there. And so all of the fields are going to line up depending upon what you have. Now to modify this, notice I'm clicking, we're going to go back to tree view, gallery. I'm clicking in the first record, right? The very first one. Notice here when I move this up, now this one is going to be the same, right? And I can move this up. So now I could do like this if I wanted to. And then when I go to play, as I scroll down, I can see the rest of them, okay? So you can kind of play with this. It's really not that complicated. I'm going to move this down here. Just in this example, we know that there's something on here. I can get rid of those scroll bars, by the way. They're right over here. But I'm just going to leave it exactly the way it is for right now. Now I want to put a header on here. I'm going to do that through a label. So I'm just going to stick that label right there. And I'm going to say just name. Okay. And then I like that. So I'm just going to Control-C, Control-V. I'm going to drop it in there, and I'm just going to type in date. Now when I go and play this, now notice, see, I see name and date, and when I scroll down, name and date stays the same, and I just continue to see all the information that is within this table right here. So that's a pretty simple and easy way just to kind of get started on creating this app. Now next, what we're going to talk about is how we actually update this information into this table. So how do we save the information and then update it, when we're editing? And do we want to edit all the time, or do we just want to view the information? Well, if we just wanted to view the information, we could just go to display mode here. We could change display mode. Notice that you have edit. We can just type in view. All right, and now, whoops. And if you do it right, then the data will be just in view mode. So we can go back to display mode. We're going to type this, whoops, we're going to type this bad boy into view. And now notice here that it's just viewing. So when we see that, now we're just seeing a view on that data. And again, we could type that whole gallery, shrink it up so that we have to scroll down to see that data. So that's really as easy as it is to bring data over from a list and dump it right into your SharePoint site. See other videos that we have on how to save this. And the next thing we're going to do with this example is we're going to build it out and build in some logic to actually tell us when things have changed inside of here and then save those back to our table. So stay tuned. We'll jump into one of the other videos that we have on the channel. Thank you.